Hi, everybody. We are back for our technically second Fantasy Sportsball episode. In our last episode, we drafted our teams for Rebecca Yaros's Iron Flame. Part two, though, this was a whole idea we came up with when we got into the middle of the book. So if you didn't watch the last episode, you should go back and watch that so you can see us draft our teams. But if you're just like, nah, just let's just get started. We drafted our teams. And we have what did we decide? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a team of 7. Um, just to pause there, if you didn't gather from before this, if you haven't read the whole book, or at least through the first part of part 2, this also isn't for you. Spoilers are about to start immediately, so you need to have read through chapter 53 in order to not get spoiled, because one of the ways that we chose our team is we decided to go with 5 characters. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 4.
Yeah.
5 characters. Then we had to choose one professor, and then we had to choose one dead character for our team of 7. And then we have 2 bench characters. So that's how we picked our team. And then there is a whole scoring sheet of how to gain and lose points. I'm not going to go through it. It's posted on YouTube, so you can go look in the comments and see what the full way to gain and lose points is. But basically, we read the first part of part 2, and now we're going to see who scored what and who is in the lead at this point going into the second half of part 2. Elena, I know you were very good about keeping track of all of the points your team scored. I think also including some of the points that maybe Jamie's and my teams lost. So why don't you kick us off? How'd your team do?
My team did great. I haven't fully added up the points, but I feel pretty confident.
Get us started.
Violet and Brennan were kind of killing it this week.
They really did. They killed it.
So starting off, I think like literally with the first chapter was nurturing romantic relationships. Violet and Zayden took up scene, plus 20 points.
Plus 20 points. I will give that to you.
Only once, right? Not the because there wasn't there 2?
You can only gain points once for stuff like that. I think I would make an exception, and again, like, because we're making this all up ourselves, we can decide as we go. But I think like if you defy death in 2 different ways, I think you get the points twice, because that's like a pretty cool thing to do twice. But like if you're just nurturing the same romantic relationship through like 5 different sex scenes, I think you only get the points once. So,
but I think if they're like separate scenes, you should get the points twice.
Make a case.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying if it's the same scene and like multiple things are happening, like cut scene, different position, I agree it's 1 point, but like if it's like a whole new chapter and they're going through something new, having new discoveries, once again.
So are you trying to make the case that Violet should get more points for nurturing her relationship with Zayden?
In the future, correct.
Totally different. I think in each scoring section, you can only gain the points once. But if she continues to nurture her romantic relationship in the next section, you get more points.
No, like in the next chapter. Like in this section, in a different chapter. She's continuing to nurture her relationship.
I think we had said you only get the points once. Jamie, how do you feel?
Jamie, it benefits you too.
Let's also remember that the 2 people who have the 2 main characters have a very large lead.
All right, there we go. So just once then.
So, and I will say that I know one of our categories is like having a really good one-liner, like a laugh out loud one-liner. Do you want me to score for every one of Tairn's laugh out loud one-liners? That's what you have to ask yourself is, do you want me to get those points every single time?
I also have Darna, and she's really sassy.
Yes. So I think once. I think in a scoring period, you only score once.
I agree, just once.
But I would argue that if it's like a really epic, like defying death or like killing a lead bad guy, you might be able to make a case for scoring the points twice.
I think successfully resolving a conflict, major quest, minor quest. Like if it's different conflicts and different quests, you should get points.
That I will give you because there are many quests going on, and if your character is able to like overcome 2 huge things, yes, they get, because it's like a different quest. Whereas like with a relationship, it's like it's really just Violet and Xaden. So like, did they nurture their relationship in this section? Yes, you get the points.
But they nurtured it in multiple places, multiple ways, multiple
and
times.
in multiple positions, as you said earlier, but they only get the points once. So there you go.
Interesting.
Points once.
R.I.P. my list.
R.I.P. your list.
Okay.
How is your team still doing, Elena?
Not as good, but still good.
Okay.
And then Jamie, I would guess, also gets those points because she is Xaden, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that, yeah, the 2 of them really, they did a lot of work in this section on their relationship.
They did.
Okay. And then I have Brennan facing a significant challenge, Mira punching him in the face. Just character on character. It is a challenge. Like, he expected to be reunited with his sister, and she punched him in the face and wants nothing to do with him. That is facing a significant challenge.
I don't know if I would call getting punched in the face by your sister facing a significant challenge, but I would still give you the points for Brennan because he successfully made that deal with Tecarus, even though it pissed off Violet to no end, to take all of the flyers back to
I have this completing a major quest.
Erasure. I'm learning, everybody. Erasure. So I think he gets the points no matter what, but probably not for that one. Not that.
No,
scene.
that's a major quest, though. That was him completing a major quest, was making the deal.
I think I would give it to Elena for that one.
That was a major, they needed the luminary major quest.
That's true. That's true.
But I have Mira, and she punched Brennan. So that would that count as forming a strong friendship?
I actually might have negative. No, I literally have negative points. Mira punching Brennan equals succumbing to a personal flaw and causing harm to others.
Oh, I was gonna say successfully resolving a conflict.
No. Mira punching Brennan is clearly causing harm to others.
Okay. So here's the thing, Jamie. I think Mira punching her brother, while warranted, I think I would probably say is I would give it engaging in a feud or conflict, personally. That action. But we all loved it, and I think that she gets the plus 15 points for your character has a laugh out loud moment or one-liner. So they kind of balance each other out a little bit.
I did
Okay, but you're saying
nice.
From Brennan's perspective, it's still not a major conflict getting punched by his sister, and
he did deserve
like
it.
her but like he wants to be reunited with him. It is like a big challenge that she hates him. Like he has to come through that emotional strife and work with her to rebuild their relationship.
I will give him the plus 25 points for facing a significant challenge because he did work on his relationship with Mira. You know, he went down there to help her and Violet when they were facing the venom. And I think that he's had multiple moments where he has clearly tried to be a better brother.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
To follow that up, I have that I should get for Violet successfully resolving a conflict, specifically the conflict where Mira punches Brennan by distracting them by making out with Xaden.
No. Because resolving a conflict is your own conflict, and you resolving it.
No, resolving a conflict could be resolving someone else's conflict. It doesn't have to be your conflict. And they stop fighting when she starts making out with him.
I'm gonna go with no. Jamie, how do you feel?
No.
That's a no. It's a no from the jury. Continue, please.
Disagree.
I hope you're notating all of that because I'm trusting you on your score.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm trusting you.
On page 368, Violet has some intrinsic, like, internal thoughts about how she's bad at failing. And I think that is her achieving self-discovery. Like, her realizing that she's not used to failing and coming to terms with, like, that's something she's going to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah. She definitely has a lot of self-discovery in this section when she's like, I haven't been on my game since Ressin. Like, I really don't know what to do. I'm totally lost. Absolutely. Like, she's realizing she has a problem and she's gonna work on it.
And then she also sacrifices for the greater good in this section. Now that I know I can't get points multiple times, I'm just going to be more broad. But specifically, I wrote putting herself in danger of being kidnapped when she goes for the luminary.
Yep. Definitely sacrifices for the greater good. For sure.
And then I think that Violet overcomes the challenge when she kills all the Venons.
Yes, I will give you that. Is that everything that you had for Violet and Brennan?
No, there's still a page and a half.
Keep going.
Okay. Violet forms friendships with Sloane equals forming a strong friendship.
I gave it to you.
Also, Marin. Marin maybe?
Yeah.
She's very good about making friends.
She's so good at making friends. You're right. I should get plus 15 points both times because she's making 2 new friends.
No, just the one.
Brooke's thinking about it.
So I would agree with you that it being 2 different relationships, you should get it. But, and hear me out, I don't consider her friendship with either Sloane or Marin to be a strong friendship. So what I'm going to do is both of them together. I'm going to say you get the points for forming a strong friendship because I think she has really set the groundwork for 2 strong friendships, but they're not quite there yet.
I'm okay with that. Now we move on to Dane. Dane had some screen time.
No. So Elena, are you done with Violet and Brennan? Because I have some comments.
Oh, no, I can keep going with Violet and Brennan and go back to Dane if that's how you want me to do it.
Yeah.
Right now I'm going in order of the things that happened because that's how I wrote the notes.
Stick with Violet and Brennan. So then Jamie and I can tell you if we think that they deserve anything else, possibly in the negative categories.
Okay, so then Brennan saves a fellow character when Riddick almost dies.
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
He gets those points for sure.
Has to save another character at some point. I never wrote it down, but I can't think of it either.
No, just the one.
She pulls someone up.
Brennan?
I don't know.
No, the Griffin pulls up.
Interesting.
Vizia, may she rest in peace.
You did notice that Dane was injured,
But yeah, he really only saves Riddick. I will definitely give you the points for saving Riddick.
Okay. Well, no, I was trying to think if Violet herself had saved a fellow character, because I don't think I have that. And she definitely did.
I would also give you the points for Violet because she does end up killing multiple Venom in this section, which in a roundabout way do save people.
Yeah, and she also saves Brennan and Mira fighting the Venom and...
Absolutely.
But
you only get it once.
For her, and then I get it for Brennan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They both save people in this section.
Okay. Then I have Violet faces significant challenge for Wyvern. Why do I feel like I did that?
No, you already said that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this was the other Wyvern. This was killing Venom.
Oh, you only get it once.
Ugh.
It's the same challenge.
And then Violet and Xaden openly communicate relationship.
What does that go under?
Relationship.
No, but which section?
Successfully resolving.
Nurturing a positive romantic relationship.
Yeah.
Did you give them those plus 20 points yet?
I feel like you already did.
I'm trusting you, and I'm also reminding you that you definitely get +10 for hooking up, but only once.
I didn't realize I got +10 separately for them hooking up.
You're welcome. I'm trusting
Thank you.
you.
Then I have nurturing. Oh, I need to get rid of that one.
Trying to cash in multiple times.
1 second. I need to go to this page to see what my note actually meant. I have another instance of violent resolving conflict.
Oh.
It's a different conflict, though.
I'm not going to give you points for resolving the word stone because she hasn't yet. If that is what you were thinking.
Or the translation.
Maybe you guys will know what I mean. I wrote violent resolving conflict finger comment.
I get it. Yeah, you get those points.
Because she had the last word, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm giving them to you because it's super funny. I would say she really hasn't resolved the conflict, but I will say that last line that she had was her deciding that she was better than allowing Kat to rile her.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay, so this one I have under nurture a positive romantic relationship.
Okay.
But I would also put it under like a minor quest. When she brings Xaden cake, I just feel like it was a really cute moment that deserves acknowledgement.
It is a really cute moment that deserves acknowledgement, and we're acknowledging it, but you don't get any points for it. But thanks for reminding me.
Look at my line.
I know. That's all right. This was our first scoring session, so we learned some stuff. Are you
I have
done
Violet
with Violet?
Oh
and
no,
Bren?
I still have half a page.
Oh, okay, continue. You did have 2 characters that did a lot in this section.
Yeah, I have Violet solving a major quest. The fact she solved the translation.
I'm not going to give it to you for this section, and Jamie, you can tell me how you feel. But we don't know for sure that she has.
But she thinks she did.
Okay.
She thinks.
Remember that you will get those points eventually, but not now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think it should count.
And you can only get them once. So whether you get them in this section or the next section doesn't really matter in total for you, for like an end score. But I don't think that she deserves it this time.
Okay. And then this is Dane and Violet. I have that they should get points for forming a strong friendship because they're rebuilding their friendship in the scenes where they're doing the wordstone stuff.
I would agree with that for both of them.
I'll allow it.
Jamie will allow it.
I get 15 points for each of them or 15 points for the friendship?
You also have Dane, right?
Yeah.
You do get 15 points for each of them because I think that both of them are working on it.
Yay.
That was a great combo pick.
And then, so my next one is Garrick, but it relates to Xaden and Violet because it's the forcing Xaden and Violet to be communicative is nurturing a positive romantic relationship, which I think I should get points for this time because it's Garrick nurturing the positive romantic relationship.
And you have Garrick.
I have Garrick.
I still think it has to be his own positive romantic relationship.
It doesn't say it has to be. It says a positive.
What do you think, Jamie? And just remember, the rules that we decide, just remember that they will count henceforth.
It's either you count it now or you count it when if you think that it'll happen again for his own relationship with Imogen.
Well, it's more
or someone else.
Do we think that nurturing a positive romantic relationship for someone else, like playing a matchmaker or like helping them get together, does that count?
That's what I mean. Like it could count for that or for his own.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm good with that. And I think that that was, first of all, a super fun moment. And yes, it was him adorably trying to help Xaden and Violet's relationship. And Garrick didn't
That
get
is
any
all
other
my.
points, so.
That's true.
Garrick didn't do anything else this section.
Yeah.
That is all my Zayden and Violet commentary.
Awesome. So I would say that Violet, while she got a lot of really good like plus points, I would argue that she also engaged in a feud or conflict for a good old -15 with Kat.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay.
I think our girl succumbed to a personal flaw when she got real jealous and angry.
No. Nuh-uh. That was Kat. Kat was influencing her. She cannot be held.
Elena,
She amplifies.
remind us how
existing.
Kat's power works. But
I disagree.
But part of the additional points you got for Violet was her realizing she had this flaw and then working on it. But she does also need to take the negative points for succumbing to that flaw originally.
Sorry, Elena.
I've got others, Jamie, but do you have any?
Did we say engaging in a toxic relationship?
Relationship is toxic. That's not something I would argue. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 relationship.
I was
No flaws.
And if you haven't watched our previous episode on Iron Flame, you might not catch the sarcasm. It's funny because I would argue that it's not a toxic relationship, but you know what,
Thank
Elena?
you.
After what you said about their relationship, you're gonna have to take those points.
No, it's not a toxic relationship. It's the healthiest relationship I've ever seen.
You're also going to have to take -25 for causing harm to Kat.
Oh, yeah. Causing harm to others, that's a -25 points.
She almost choked Kat out.
She almost killed someone.
I know that we're currently mostly focusing on Violet, but if I have to take -20 for engaging in a toxic relationship, Jamie also has to take -20 for engaging in a toxic relationship.
And she does, yes. Because I think that we agree. You know what? Okay. Being funny aside, I really don't think their relationship is toxic. Like if we want to stick to the heart of it, I do not personally, outside of this is hilarious, think that Zayden and Violet's relationship is toxic. So
I agree with that. I don't think they're toxic.
you don't have to take -20 points. I just think it's funny that you gave them a 5 out of 10 in the episode, and then you wanted to not take -20 points.
And I don't think I should have to.
It was like 30 minutes ago.
Also, if Violet has to take -25 for causing harm to others, so does Zayden. Zayden killed that Venom unnecessarily. That was causing harm.
I'm gonna say
I'm
gonna say no.
He killed a person.
Killing Venom is not causing harm. I'm gonna say that's a flat.
It's killing a person. You're saying Venom's lives don't matter?
Yes. Venom's lives don't matter. I am saying that here and now. The only other one that I would say for Violet is making a foolish decision for -10 points. Because I think most of her actions can sometimes be labeled as a foolish decision, such as going to Tecarus and not telling Zayden.
I think that was a smart decision.
Somewhat foolish.
She would have tried to stop. She tried to convince him. She tried to convince him that she should go.
She did.
So it wasn't foolish.
Am I being too
I
harsh,
disagree.
Jamie? Or is there another foolish decision? All right, so we're going to give it to Elena. No foolish decisions.
I think you need a stronger foolish decision.
I think, yeah, I agree. I think it needs to be more foolish.
I don't got it. All right, fine. You don't have to take that one.
But
Yay.
I think failing to complete a mission or failing to overcome a challenge. Because her idea or her,
her
what
word
she thought.
stone.
Yes.
I don't think she's failed yet, though. She's still working
No,
on
she
it.
still did because they all did the blood thing and it failed. So I think that should count. So
Okay, are we calling that a mission or a challenge?
I'll give you challenge. Because I don't think that it's not like a true failure, like she can't make it back up.
yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm not even going to give you nearly dying. I think she had it in hand all the time.
Is
think she was good
nearly
to go.
dying on here? I don't
Yeah.
even see nearly dying.
It's because you don't have the one that we added the things that we wanted to,
Oh.
such as
Yeah,
dying, negative 20 points, and nearly dying, negative 10 points.
Yeah, I don't have that.
That's fine.
And so I was not tracking it.
All right,
Wasn't tracking
so
any of those
Riddick.
things.
You probably also don't have sacrificing a fellow character. Or no, you might have that one, but you probably don't have killing a bad guy for plus 10 points, which is in any point that you kill a venom, you get plus
Okay.
10.
For each venom?
So
No.
okay, so Violet gets plus 10, plus 50 because she killed 5 venom.
Well, that's what I mean.
1
is it
venom and
per
4
venom?
wyvern.
I will say plus 10 because venom are like the, the grunts of the world.
I guess.
But I think the only negative one that I would argue for Brennan would be engaging in a feudal conflict.
What feudal conflict?
With Mira when she punches him in the face.
No, he doesn't. He's trying to make it up to her. He's not engaging. Disagree.
Okay. Jamie, do you think he engages in a feudal conflict?
Yeah. For not telling Mira.
I think he gets the slight ding because we also know that it's really on him that happens. But I think that that's it. I really don't think that Brennan gets anything else negative.
All right. Should I move on to my positive Dane points or my negative Zayden points?
Oh.
Negative Zayden.
No. You don't get to pick on Zayden until it's Jamie's turn. So move on to Dane. What else does Dane
Because we were
get?
just discussing that Violet and Zayden are very intertwined, so I just didn't know.
You're right. And Jamie will have the opportunity to say what she thinks Zayden's points are, and then you can chime in with the negative points that Jamie may or may not own up to.
So Dane, I have achieving self-discovery and letting Violet make her own choices.
Yeah. He also does the really big thing of apologizing and admitting that he was wrong.
Apologizing is overcoming a personal flaw.
I'll also give that to you. Dane did a lot of work. I think he did a lot of work in this section.
I know. Dane was a real bringer.
We see in this section how he's been doing a lot of work. Like, we might not be around for the work, but it's being done.
And then I also have Dane successfully solves a conflict when he threatens to throw Cat off a cliff.
I feel like that's a stretch.
I don't think it is a stretch.
No,
because they still need her as an ally. I
think solving a conflict is mostly your own conflict. And I know we said nurturing a positive romantic relationship can be for other people. So I could stretch it to, you could like stop a conflict between other people, but I don't think that does truly stop the conflict. I think that thing that stops the conflict is the wyvern coming and eating the griffin and then them realizing they've got bigger problems.
She's being such a pain, and then Dane threatens to throw her off a cliff, and you're saying you don't think that's resolving the conflict?
No, because the conflict doesn't get resolved that way. He's trying to resolve a conflict.
Yeah, and I think he does a great job. It's a great solution.
Or is that engaging in a feudal conflict? Is he just engaging in the conflict?
I don't think that's engaging in the conflict.
Or does he just get no points for that part?
Fine.
I don't know. What do you think, Jamie? Am I being too harsh?
I don't know. I don't really care for Dane. I'm sorry.
Dane gets minus 500 points for being Dane.
I'm just Dane indifferent now.
Yeah. He's back at 0.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's everything I have.
I don't think he gets any other negative points, personally.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
And
Jane
then,
is in that positive in this section.
yeah, my other characters are Sagal, who didn't really do anything, the Sage, who also didn't really do anything, and Liam, who didn't show up.
I'm trying to think of for Sigale. Because I know that we don't really see her a lot. And I'm not just doing this because I have Tairn. But I would give her the plus 20 points for nurturing a positive romantic relationship.
I'll take it.
And the reason is because there are a lot of like moments between the two of them where like when Tairn is like, oh, I should have known she would track me, or like hopefully like I don't know if she like where she is, but she's not hurt. And then there's the like, oh no, they're fighting. Like there's a lot of like them communicating and like working on their relationship as well in the background.
I think you might also be able to say that she's forming a strong friendship with Violet. We just don't see it. But I think it's there.
I don't think we see any of that in this section specifically, even though
But it's definitely happening in the background. I think we could all agree to that.
Maybe in the next section. I will not give it.
I would give her plus 30 points for surviving a life-threatening situation.
Where is that one of the new ones?
It might be.
It's on a bonus points survival.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Was not.
Because there's the note about Xaden and Sigale almost getting Venom juice box magic sucked, and then they escape that. Yeah. I think that's it for Sigale.
Do both Brennan and Violet also get avoiding death against the odds when they fought that Venom?
Sure. You can give them plus 25 points for that. Yeah, I think that's it for Sigale. And then who else did you say you had on your team?
Liam, who you don't see at all, so he doesn't really get anything. And then Sage, who you also don't see. Just Dream Sage, and that's not real Sage.
Okay. I'm going to argue that you do see the Sage.
If anything, it should be forming a strong friendship. He keeps visiting Violet.
That guy is toxic.
He is definitely toxic. For the Sage, I would at least give him... God, is it causing harm to others?
He hasn't caused harm to anyone.
Or engaging in a feud or conflict?
Neither. Literally, he hasn't done either of those things in these dreams. He's threatened. I would say, if anything, he's forming a strong friendship. He's reaching out to Violet and trying to get her to join him.
What do you think, Jamie? Is he causing harm to others in this section?
No, he's not.
Emotional harm.
No.
She wakes from the nightmare and he's like torturing her in it.
She can hardly breathe.
Yeah, but that's not real harm. It's a dream.
It didn't really specify which type of harm.
I think you got to take 25 points for the Sage.
This is the one I actually strongly disagree with the most, but I'll do it.
I mean, Elena, if you want to choose to switch one of your bench characters in for the Sage,
I can't. He's my professor. I don't have another professor.
He's my professor.
Oh, he's your professor.
If you want to pick one of the professors that's still able to be put on your team,
I like having him for the plot.
I'm forgetting the sports term for available player that no one has.
I'm holding out for forming a strong
Oh,
friendship.
the free
And then my
agent?
husband yells from the next room, free agent.
Oh, yep.
Free agent. You can pick a free agent. Anyway, I think that's it. I think he only gets minus 25 points. And then who else did you have? Who was your dead character? Oh, your dead character was Liam.
It was Liam. That's literally everyone I have.
Okay. Awesome. Any other thoughts, Jamie, on Elena's characters?
No, I don't think so.
All right, you're up. You want to start with Zayden? Get all your points out of the way now.
Facing a significant challenge. Does being a prince count?
I mean, he just had a mental breakdown on a roof about how they're all going to die and they should have started 50 years ago. So
Zayden gets those points, but Violet doesn't get those points for bringing him cake?
no.
Didn't she get points for something else?
There's a very big difference because Zayden is on the front lines of this and has been for a lot longer. And he also like shoulders the responsibility of this being like taking on his dad's quest as well. So I would say facing a significant challenge for sure. Because it's just facing it. He hasn't overcome it. He's just he's facing it.
Ooh, I would say overcoming a personal flaw. So communication. And saying
He's overcome that. I think he's still struggling.
So
he said, "I love you." He said, "I love you."
He had already said that.
But he said in this section.
He does.
I don't think he's overcome that as a personal. He still has that flaw.
She wanted him to say, "I love you." He finally said it. Brooke.
So I don't think that he overcomes that flaw because I think they're still working on it. But I do think that the flaw that he overcomes is when Violet tells him that he is being like Dane. When he is basically telling her, like, you know, basically treating her like a fragile flower. And he stops doing that. So I would say that is something that he overcomes.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And then I would give you the plus 15 points for achieving self-discovery in realizing that they have communication issues and that they need to work on them.
Thank you.
But they've not overcome that yet.
I can't think of a strong friendship for him that
He doesn't have any.
That he is just forming, unless other than the ones that he already has.
Agree.
Nurturing a positive relationship with Violet, of course.
Yes. Plus 20 for that, plus 10 for hooking up. You definitely get that in spades.
Plus 10 hook up. That's what I didn't have. Okay. Saving a fellow character. I don't know anyone specifically.
I don't know either.
Unless Violet counts. I feel like he's always coming to save her.
But he did it in this section.
Yeah, he doesn't really save her, though.
All right. We'll skip that. Sacrificing for the greater good every time he's on the front lines.
You're not wrong. Elena, did you get sacrificing for the greater good for Violet?
Or did Sigale?
I don't actually think I did. Yeah, I did for putting herself in danger of being kidnapped.
Then I would have to give the 30 points to Zayden. So, yeah, I'm trying to keep it separate because I think that in that moment where he almost dies, it's surviving a life-threatening situation. So I don't know if it's also sacrificing for the greater good. It's a situation of like, of course he is.
Yeah.
But is there a specific scene in this section?
There was the one where it didn't happen in this section. It happened last section where he dropped everything, jeopardizing the revolution to save Violet.
But that was last section.
That was last section.
Yeah, I don't think he gets it in this section.
Yeah. But he does for surviving a life-threatening situation.
Yes.
So sorry to skip ahead. All right. I can't think of anything else for the greater good, but maybe in the next section. Betrayal of a friend. I don't think so.
Well, I think one of the things that you guys might not have on yours is your character has a laugh out loud moment or one-liner.
Yeah, I wasn't tracking that.
Oh, I didn't have that.
And now I'm trying to think back for your
Count
characters.
Dane threatening to throw Cat off the cliff as a laugh out loud moment.
No.
No.
I think this is one of those that we're all gonna have to agree on it. That like we were like, yeah, that was the moment. Like Garrick gets those points for his. I'm
Yeah.
helping you with your communication. I can't off the top of my head think of a like. Now you know what I would give the plus 15 to Zayden for this is when he says, "I honestly don't care if you kill Cat, but I think you will." Like that made me giggle. I thought that was
funny.
But was it funny enough?
Maybe it's just my sense of humor.
I mean, if y'all both laughed out loud, I'll give it to you, but I didn't personally laugh out loud.
I think I was more like, ooh.
It's all right. It's all right. That doesn't have to count. Did Zayden do anything negative?
Oh, yeah, he did.
All right, go ahead, Elena. What did Zayden do?
What did he do?
Well, the one I have written down is personal flaw, succumbing to a personal flaw of being like Dane and being overprotective. Which is negative 15.
Is it? Or it's because it's just, it happened that one time?
No, that was him succumbing.
So I would say it comes to other personal flaws as well in this section, and we're only going to give it to you once, but I think that, and even you said, Jamie, that his communication skills could use some work and that he keeps insisting someone ask questions rather than give information.
Making a foolish decision. Yeah, not being upfront with Violet about Cat.
Yeah.
I've been harping on it. I'll be honest.
He does not
as you should
in
be
a
when
toxic
taking negative
relationship.
points. Does he engage in a feud? I'm trying to think if he fights with anyone in this section. I don't think he really does.
Not in this section. He did with Eric in the last one.
True.
Does engaging in a conflict, does trying to choke Tecaris to death count as engaging in a conflict?
It definitely does.
But it was more like touch her and die.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And we love that.
We do love it. Or we can count it as causing harm to others, but that's negative 25 points, so you might just want to take the negative 15 for engaging in a feud or conflict.
All right.
I think that's it. I don't really think.
Yeah, that's what I would go with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Who else do you have, Jamie?
And Darna.
And
Darna, I gave her facing a significant challenge. So being, she can't fly, but she's working on it. So she's still facing it.
Yep.
Achieving self-discovery. She has been having like one-liners about sheep.
Been a lot of sheep. I don't know if she's really achieved self-discovery.
I don't know. Other than like
denial.
Yeah, she's just getting a lot of like development.
Mm-hmm.
I would give you
adolescence.
I would give you overcoming a personal flaw. And I think that this isn't like truly a personal flaw, but they do say that she's finally able to like open her wings and fly a little bit, which they had been worried about.
That was facing a significant challenge, isn't it?
I think it's like the whole challenge. I would give you the plus 25 points. But I will say that her overcoming the flaw of flying, you only get it once. So like I think she's realized she can fly. So she's overcome that flaw.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to point out, just in case you're not going to, that I would give her the points for forming a strong friendship because she loves Sigale now. Like, way more
She's
than ever
always
before.
a Gale.
But like in this section, it was like the, following her to go like eat the sheep and like Tairn being like, you're so much more like Sigale now. And she's like, I'll take that as a compliment. Like she like Sigale's her like little bestie now.
Okay, I'm okay with this because I'm about to tear her apart in negative actions and traits. So
How can you say anything mean about Andrina?
I just feel like she's continually engaging in a feud with Tairn this entire section.
But he's so grumpy.
No, she's being grumpy to him. She's being a grumpy adolescent and causing fights with him.
What do you mean?
I agree with you, Elena, but I don't think it's strong enough to call it a feud. I would say that it's succumbing to a personal flaw. She has no chill.
She has no chill.
No chill.
I would also say making a foolish decision when she decides to come on the mission she's clearly not ready for.
I don't know if I'd say that one because it's not like she snuck onto the mission. They were very much like, no, this is a training mission and you're going to be on your feet. So she didn't like force her way in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if she made another foolish decision.
That's
though.
what I'm trying. Like, she definitely has been foolish in this section, but
Most of the time it's been all talk.
Yeah, and that's I think it's all talk, no action so
Yeah.
far.
okay, I
how
guess
many
that's really
points?
it.
Well, how many points was the one-liner LOL moments?
plus 15. She definitely
Plus
gets that.
15. Oh yeah. I don't even need to think of one. I just know she did it.
I think
that might be it.
though. Yeah.
Next I have Riddick.
Can we wait for the fact she can't fly yet? Can we put that as failing to overcome a challenge?
No, because
I mean, she
she's
can.
still facing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not-
different because it's not like she did something and then failed. That's what you get for picking a main character, Elena. Gonna keep failing missions. So you said you have Riddick, Jamie?
I have Riddick. I know he's gonna get, what was it? Oh, avoiding death against the odds and surviving a life-threatening situation.
I think he gets both.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because I think the avoiding death against the odds comes in when like they really should have died.
Aren't there also negative points for almost dying?
Yeah, he definitely gets negative 10 points for nearly dying.
Where is that?
All the way at the
It's
bottom.
not on this list.
Oh, it's under death in R.
I don't have that version.
I don't have that version.
Oh, I put it on there. That's dying is minus 20 points and nearly dying is minus 10.
Oh, okay. Dying minus what, 20?
Well, he didn't die, thank goodness. But
I know.
He nearly died, which was minus 10.
Died minus 10. Okay. And then I'll put Riddick. Oh yeah, I really hope he doesn't die. He had like a really good LOL. I think he had a really good LOL moment with like Sawyer and trying to teach Sawyer like the wrong sign language.
That was funny. This is one that you do not need to convince me of because every time Riddick opens his mouth, I laugh.
I know.
Yeah,
he has
fair.
like great lines.
Yeah.
Friendship. He has to have some kind of strong friendship, right?
Justina? Do we want to call Justina a friendship or a romantic relationship? I think it would be one, but I don't know which.
I don't think Riddick is with Jacinia.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it's Sawyer. Never mind. I'm just stupid.
No, you just got them mixed up. I want to give Riddick the plus 10 for hooking up because we know he definitely did and we just don't know who with.
Okay. Do we want to give him for forming strong friendships?
With who?
Sloane?
I'd need like a moment between the two of them because I'm not thinking of one.
I can't think of one either.
Yeah.
But he's very likable.
Oh.
Just not with the Griffin writers.
Yeah. No, I
I
can't
think
think of
that's all I
anything
have
else.
then.
Yeah.
I can't think of negative things he's done either.
Yeah.
Other than nearly
dying.
Nearly dying, yeah.
Yeah. Who else do you have?
Eric.
Eric didn't really do much.
Did he do anything?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he did anything.
No, he just had that one funny line where Violet asks him if he knows a certain language, and he's like, "Why would I know a language? You're confusing me with a different cadet."
I couldn't think of what it was, but I was like, there was a moment where Eric made me laugh. What was it? He definitely gets plus 15 for having a zinger.
But Dane doesn't get plus 15 for threatening to throw Kat off a cliff?
Elena, find me the line that made you laugh and then read it to me.
I'll throw you off this fucking cliff myself. Unlike Rierson, I don't give a shit about who your uncle is. I thought it was funny.
I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was badass.
I think that's the problem. I also was just like, damn, Dane. Damn. Damn. Sorry, Elena. You can only get so many surprise awesome points for Dane. We thought you were going to tank on that one.
Can I share my favorite Indarna quote?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scratch her eyes out, Indarna suggests. Really, the eyes are the softest tissue. Just jab your thumbs in there.
That was a good one.
And use your common sense. Tairn snaps. The kneecaps are much easier.
They had so many great lines.
So whoever has Tairn.
I like when Indarna goes, Sybil is overrated. I've never tasted Griffin. Because they're mad.
She was so snarky. She had great presence in this one. Was that it for your team, Jamie?
I have Mira, Deborah, and Papa Sorengale. And I think those last two didn't really have much. I know Deborah did like the death roll, but I don't think I get any points for that. Mira.
I have Mira succumbs to a personal flaw and causes harm to others.
What's her personal flaw?
Anger.
She does also punch someone in the face. You know what? I don't know.
Also potentially engaging in a feud or conflict. Also potentially betrayal of a friend.
Okay.
Betrayal of a friend?
It can't be all of those things.
I think it should be.
And I think you definitely take the negative points for causing harm to others because his nose was real messed up.
But deserved.
I think that might be it though. Because I don't know. I fully support her reaction personally.
What about uncovering a hidden secret?
Oh.
No.
I forgot that this was
the Brennan secret.
That's not her uncovering a secret.
Oh,
everyone
the
knew that secret.
The Brennan secret of Navarre.
That's true.
Because she didn't know.
I don't think she uncovered it though. She was just told.
Yeah, it wasn't like I have discovered this for everybody. Yeah.
I think she should get negative points for engaging in a feud or conflict because even after she punches him, she continues to feud with Brennan.
I think that's fair.
All right. If we're gonna go with that, that's fine. I'm just gonna say a feud is like a very strong.
And they're still feuding.
That's true. I would like to give Mira the saving a fellow character plus 25 points because her ward is what saves the three of them.
Thank you. I'm like just getting negative points for Mira.
And I think she should also get the plus 30 points for sacrificing for the greater good, personally, because she did not need to go into that pit. Or if we want to give her. Did you already take the plus 30 points for surviving a life-threatening situation?
No.
Definitely take those 30 points.
Okay.
Over sacrificing for the greater good, because I wouldn't necessarily saying her going into the pit sacrificing for the greater good.
Yeah, because it was
I
mostly
will
for
remove
Violet.
her then.
Yeah.
But she definitely does face a significant challenge.
Okay. Go.
Yeah. And then, sorry, who was your last character?
Papa Sorrengo.
Oh,
Nothing.
nothing.
The dead characters did not come through.
They didn't.
He
this
was mentioned
section.
once, but it was very like, oh, we got this from Dad.
He
Or
was
it was like
mentioned.
a book, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Is that it for Jamie's team?
I think so.
All right. For Tairn, who is my number one draft pick, I think that he nurtures a positive romantic relationship with Sigil.
Absolutely.
And then I think that I don't think that he personally survives a life-threatening situation. He definitely has some laugh out loud moments. So I'm going to give him 15 points for that. He does save a fellow character and multiple fellow characters by crushing that falling rock that is about to kill them.
He did do that.
And I'm sure that he could probably be said to have saved other characters, but only once. I don't know. Did Andarna? We didn't give Andarna the feud, right? The engaging in a feud with Tairn. She didn't take the negative 15 points for that, right?
No, I think we called
No, I
that
don't think
succumbing to
so.
a personal flaw.
Yeah, you know what? I am going to take the negative 15 points for Tairn for succumbing to a personal flaw.
Okay, that's good. I had that written down for you.
He is constantly being so full of himself all the time.
I
He's
literally have mocking Griffin inferiority, succumbing to personal flaw, pride.
Yep. I think that's it, though. I think that's it for Tairn.
Causing
I
harm to
ha-
others. Didn't he like chomp someone or something?
Oh, he
Around
does.
the neck?
He does grab Tiny's neck, but he said his teeth weren't in his neck.
Yeah,
He
I don't
just
think he
grabbed him
really
to hold
caused
him.
harm to
So
others.
it doesn't count.
I
Just
have
grabbed
that he betrayed a friend.
Who?
Well, because he told Violet he wasn't going to tell Sigil that they were leaving, but then he just omitted the fact that Sigil would just know, and I think that lie of omission was a betrayal in a way.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. For sure. How many points do I take for that? Oh,
20.
20.
minus 20. Yikes. Ouch. All right. My next character is Ree. Who do we think that she resolves a conflict?
Not that I can think off of the top of my head.
I'm trying to think.
Well, she was like the middle person for Violet and Cat. So whatever Cat
But-
was assigned, she took it.
If anything,
there
I would
was,
call
like,
that sacrificing for the greater good.
I mean, she resolved that conflict between them a little bit.
It's not resolved, though, as you guys have informed me multiple times.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
Brooke. I was just
not.
trying to help you out here.
No,
I
I
would call it
appreciate it.
sacrificing for the greater good. She did have to interact with Kat a lot more to save Violet from doing it.
good though.
I mean, she does sacrifice for the greater good of the team. I think that is like
Yeah.
Ree's thing. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take those 30 points.
Facing a
Um,
significant challenge, being a leader of the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take it.
I would begrudgingly give it. They did just have a big merge, and she's in charge of monitoring it.
Yeah. Do I get nurturing a positive romantic relationship with Tara and hooking up with Tara?
No,
Because
we
they're
don't know
definitely
any. You can have
they're
hooking up with
definitely
Tara.
sleeping together. But we
I
don't know
don't
if
think
it's a
you
positive
get.
relationship.
We don't know if it's a positive relationship,
That's fair.
and we haven't seen it nurtured.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of a time that Ree made me laugh out loud. So unless you guys can think of one,
No.
I'm gonna skip right over that. But I think other than that, I don't think she does anything negative. Personally. All right. I will go on to Imogen, who does almost nothing. I don't know if we can give her a 15 points for a funny line when she tries to diss Garrick.
I don't even remember what that is.
When Garrick does the line about I'm trying to help like Xaden and Violet with their relationship, and then she's like, yeah, basically you wouldn't know a stable relationship if it bit you in the ass. See, you giggled.
Made me laugh.
It's a twofer for Garrick and Imogen.
I'm gonna take it because I think that's her only 15 points.
Yeah.
I don't think she does anything else in this whole section.
I don't think so.
Didn't she form a strong friendship with one of the Griffin writers?
Does she? I don't think so. I think they're all still working on it. Maybe in the next section. But I don't think she does anything negative.
I think she engages in a feud with Kat. She's constantly saying rude things about Kat.
Because Kat is rude.
Is that Imogen or is that Sloane though? Because I would definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were on Ree, but we're on Imogen.
Yeah.
No, I think Imogen does it a few times too. I mean, I guess I could be wrong. I didn't specifically write.
I would actually put it Imogen forming a strong, continued strong friendship with Violet by saying all those like Kat things, and
so we agree she says negative things about Kat.
So negative 15 points for engaging in a feud or conflict. But what do I get? Are we still forming a strong friendship?
It's net
you
zero.
Just, balance it out.
It's net zero.
I'll take it. I'm gonna move on to Jacinia before you can take any more of my very few Imogen points. Jacinia does literally nothing. The only thing that I could possibly say is nurturing a positive romantic relationship, but we barely see it, and it's not like she's not.
We don't know.
I don't know if I would count it. Yeah.
I really hope that my girl is earning a lot of points in the background that I'm missing out on and we don't know about it. Kaori, literally, I don't know if you guys laughed as hard as I did because I think it was because he was on my team. Literally, the line about like Kaori was like, I can't leave the Empyrean, so I'm staying behind, and I was like, damn it. I chose the wrong professor.
Jack Barlow also stayed behind, which is an RIP for your team.
Jack Barlow, literally nothing. Varish, I wanted to try to like make a case for his dragon is about to kill people, but like there's nothing.
I don't think you want to do that. I don't think that's the.
No, there's absolutely nothing. Which I think brings us to the end of our first section. I think I'm in dead last. I don't know. Have you guys added up your points? I think
Jamie's winning.
Oh, really? I haven't counted yet.
I haven't counted.
While you're counting, so this would be the point in time where we would decide if we wanted to swap any of our characters that are in our current roster for either of the two characters on our bench. And I think that we had decided earlier that the only time you can get a new character is when one of your characters dies, which I don't think happened. So, or we could trade if anybody wanted to potentially bring up a trade with someone, this would be the time to do that. My one question for the group, because we did not talk about this, and I know that we decided on our 5 like current characters, our 1 dead character, our professor, and then 5, and then the 2. In terms of swapping our bench characters, do we want to just blanket decide that if we want to swap one or both of our bench characters in for potentially our professor or our dead character, can we do that? Or do we need to stick out the rest of this book with our professor and our dead character?
We should stick it out.
Stick it out? Or
I want to swap. I want to switch out.
I would say if we have to stick it out with a professor and dead character on our team, we should make it possible for people to swap with a different dead character or a different professor from the currently available players, which I already forgot the name of again.
Oh, the freelancers?
Free agents. The freelancers, yeah. Yeah, the free
We know a lot
agents.
about sports ball.
We know so much about sports ball.
ball.
So I think that I'm okay with those rules if you guys are as well.
Okay.
That we have to keep a professor and a dead person on our team. But if anybody at this point wants to swap theirs for someone who is a free agent, they are allowed to do so.
Can I count Brennan as my dead person from now on?
No. Once a previously dead character is no longer dead, they don't count as a dead character.
So if Liam came back to life in a section, would I not get points for the things he did?
No, you would, because you wouldn't know that he isn't dead.
Okay. But then after that section, I would need to swap for a new dead character.
Going into the 3rd book, when
Yeah.
we have to keep doing this because I'm having a great time. If Liam had come back and we decide to continue having a dead character in our team, you'd have to pick someone new. Matt yelling from the other room, Liam would just go to your bench, right?
That's what it's called.
I'm really glad that we have at least one sports ball person in our extended group that can lead us through sports ball.
John does too.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's why I said at least one. I was like, I don't know if Jacob does sports ball, but I kind of thought that maybe John did.
Yes, John does sports ball.
Some fantasying that isn't fantasy, but
he is experienced
ball.
in fantasy. Yeah, sports ball.
Actual sports ball. Does anyone want to kick it off? Like, is anyone like, nope, my team is great, I'm sticking with it? Anyone want to be like, I got to trade? I wanna pitch.
We're struggling. Garrick didn't do that much for this section, and I think Serena might do more in the next section, but I want to keep Garrick, so I think I'm going to keep my team the same.
That's fair. How are you feeling, Jamie?
I think I also want to keep my players, but I really want to put Sawyer in, but at the same time I'm scared that he might not make it.
There's that minus 20 points for dying.
But he could get positive 20 points for nurturing a romantic
That's what I mean. And Mira, like, she's making me lose points, so I think I might want to swap her out.
She could also die. It's not outside the realm that Mira dies.
That's true. I mean, I don't think she would, but who knows? Zayden is making me lose points, but he's also ahead of everyone in my team.
Net positive. That's all you care about.
Mm-hmm. I think swapping out Zayden would be a hilarious move.
Just putting him on the bench. You got boring, bro. Putting you on the bench. I'm trying to figure out who to swap Sloan in for, personally, because I feel like Sloan... Jack. Well, so here's the thing, is like, I still really think that Jack's got something squirrely going on. So I don't want to lose the potential points, even though he got me absolute goose egg in this. And I can't swap him out for Kaori or Varish. So I'm trying to right now to figure out, do I swap him in for Imogen or Jacinia? And Jacinia also got me 0, but I'm also hoping for that sweet, sweet bump in points when she makes out with Sawyer. Like,
I really think you're better off swapping Jack Because I just don't see Jack doing positive things in the future. Like, it's all gonna be,
good
like, odds of
point.
it being negative are pretty high, like, has a conflict, harms a character,
I was like,
dies.
I would even take like the massive amount of negative points just for being right about him coming back and doing something cool. And also if he does something super awful, it's still him completing his own major quest. So
No, it's gonna be him failing a quest because he's gonna try and kill Violet, and it's not gonna work.
oh, you know what? I didn't think about it like that. Mm.
Or
What
do
if
Imogen. Imogen also didn't do that much.
that's sort of what I'm thinking. And I know that putting Sloane in is also a huge gamble because I realize that her dying is like there's a 60% chance, I'd say. Like I don't think we kill two Maris like back to back, but we could.
Mhm.
I don't know. And I love Imogen, but she went from doing a lot of really cool stuff in the first half to doing absolutely nothing in this last section. Oh, and then Tairn didn't get me the points that I thought he would. Tairn.
Do we total our points?
Yeah, what'd you get?
Oh, hold on. 1 second.
Doing
Mine's
good.
really easy to count with my eyes.
Oh.
I was so high up before I started taking damage.
I'm at 355.
Whoa! What do you have, Elena? What do you have?
340. I'm telling you, the damage
Ooh, we
hurt.
close. Yeah, it hurt for me too, for Zayden and Mira.
I only have 105 points. You guys are good.
Brooke, how does sports ball work? Are the points just gonna add together at the end?
Yes. Yeah. So it's whoever has the most points at the end of the book.
Okay.
You do bring up a really good point, Elena, about Jack probably having mostly negative points, which I hadn't really thought about when we were drafting. And you know what?
Unless he turns out to be really good, which is a minuscule possibility.
Super minuscule. I'm trying to think like, okay, I bench him, right? And then he comes back and he does amazing stuff. How sad am I gonna feel? And you know what? I think I won't because
You'll
I
have
just really
Sloane.
I don't think he's gonna right. I could potentially have Sloane. And I'm also thinking about swapping Dyer in for a different character, at least for my bench, because Dyer's not doing anything. I'm really bad at sports ball.
Yeah, what's the likelihood that Jack would save someone again?
Low.
Even if he does, like even if he like sacrificed for the greater good for 30 points, even if he formed a strong friendship for another 15, like yeah.
I feel like Jack's either going to do really great things for you or really terrible things for you. Like, he could come
Right.
in and do all of those good
He's the
things.
wild card.
And it might be funny to have him on my team just for that, just for the fallout, like to just capture whatever those points are. But then
And
it's like, do
just
I
know,
That'd be a lot of
if
fun.
Jack comes into the next section and does bad things, I will be keeping track.
Oh, I know you will.
There's no
God.
doubt in
I think I'm gonna swap Sloane in for Imogen. My reasoning being that I do believe that Jasenia is going to have more FaceTime in the last part of this book.
that. Unless she's like, go away, Sawyer.
Right. And I also am worried about Imogen potentially dying.
So had
That'd
that
be real
thought.
sad.
So I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna swap them. But then that's it.
The iconic pink hair.
Yeah. I'm still gonna keep her on my bench. I love her, but I'm gonna bring Sloane in. But yeah, is that the only change that is occurring? Is everybody else keeping their teams the same?
Oh, I was gonna swap out Mira and Sawyer.
Yeah. I liked keeping track of Mira. Mira did funny things.
I totally understand though that like how much more is she gonna do in the next section?
Right. Because I still feel like maybe Eric has potential.
Mm. Yeah, he didn't do much in this section.
Or I might swap out Sawyer and Riddick.
It's a lot. It's a lot to think about.
Because Eric gave me 0, but Riddick gave me 55.
I mean, I like Riddick.
And they all have the possibility of dying. Except maybe Eric as like the bottom of the 3.
I would say that almost everyone has a possibility, honestly.
Like Violet, Tairn, and Darna.
Do we need to lock in our changes
We do.
by the end of this? Okay.
I'm moving Imogen down to my bench. Oh, I will also say that the points that you get in this section are final for this section. So, like, if somehow your character was positive in this section, but they're negative, like in the next section, I mean, I guess that would take points away from this. Let's say you can't lose these points. Or I guess if you end, is anyone going to end negative? Like, would we actually make it be? Would you take points away from this past section if someone's somehow negative named Brooke
I don't
in the
think
next
it should
section?
be. Yeah, I don't think it should apply to this section.
I guess
Okay.
new round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it would just be negative points and then we add together the 2 scores at the end. Is that how it works?
Well, that's what I was asking. Is it like, is this like the smallest amount of
So-
points that you can have?
If someone hooks up again, it will apply for the new section because it happened in
In
new
that section, yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I guess it would make sense to add them both together. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you could have negative points, Brooke, if somehow you completely tank the next section and get
If
negative
somehow
200.
Jack Barlow comes in and just kills everyone. Yeah. I'm alright. Total anarchy. Let's just do it. Maximum chaos. What are you thinking, Jamie?
I know I am still stuck. So I'm thinking, like, what's the likelihood that Riddick could possibly die again? Being in another life-threatening situation.
But also remember that dying is only minus 20 points. So I don't think that that's the best reason to get rid of someone. And I personally think that if Riddick were to die at the end of this book, first of all, I'll be dead too, so we won't be shooting the next episode. But he will probably do some really cool stuff leading up to that would probably get him to the positive part.
Mm-hmm.
True. Sacrificing for the greater good is plus 30, so it would be a net positive 10.
Yeah.
I feel like for Sawyer, I'm only banking on like the positive relationship. So I think I'll just keep my team the way it is. And
Oh no, I already drew the line. I need to ignore this.
What?
Like I'm drawing little swap lines,
Oh, yeah.
and I already drew it for Sawyer to Mira, so I need to
Oh.
remove it so I remember who has who.
All right. Everybody feels good going in the next section?
Yeah.
I was gonna read it after this, but it is now midnight, so
Wow, look at the time.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. If you're playing along, let us know what your teams are. But otherwise, we're gonna see who's right, who's wrong, and whose characters totally tank their scores by the end of this book.
Jack Barlow.
See you later. Bye.